Welcome back to Project Mayhem. This is Kenneth. Today we're working on a 2000 Ford Ranger, four-wheel drive automatic. We're doing an oil change on it. Feel free to show the specimen. I got a friend that needs an oil change done and figured might as well make a YouTube video out of it. So, you're going to need a 16 preferred extension. All the tools you need. Also, I'm going to be putting gloves on because I don't like to get oil on my hands. And parts tray. Usually, throw a magnet on the bottom. That way, when you have metal parts and pieces in there, don't fall out. Tip on the oil. But yeah, let's jump into it. So, what I would do first is go under here and undo the drain bolt. Step one. Let's tighten that up. That's loose. We're good. And we're just going to throw one glove on you guys. Uh-oh. Perks of having big hands. Alrighty.
I'm having issues with that light. Point it. Yeah, there we go. A little bit better.
Is that better?
Yeah, I think so.
Can you still see?
I can work with that, I think.
Ready?
Yeah, there I go. I'm gonna get a shower.
Look at that. Damn near perfect. And then, while that's draining, throw that into the trusty dusty tuna can. While that's draining, slide over your bucket as far as you can go and untwist this oil filter right here.
Having issues with that light again.
And just like that. And while that's draining, you go up to the top and you crack your oil fill, and this will drain faster. Stay tuned. Up here, undo the cap, set it off to the side, make sure it doesn't fall, and there you go. So, you got to take your new filter and put your new filter back in where the old filter was. But what I like to do is get a little bit of this oil. I know I said I liked gloves, but this part's fine. And you put a little bit of oil on this O-ring right here so it sits and seats perfectly. That's all you got to do. And maybe even a little bit more on the threads. Just a little bit. Doesn't need a lot. Some people also fill these up before you throw them in. We're not going to do that. And it just goes up right here. And threads in. Where's the threads? There's the threads. And only hand tight so you don't have to fucking work so hard to get it off. Like right there. Alrighty. Now that that's done draining and whatnot, you grab your bolt, you clean it off with a paper towel. Just like so. Check the O-ring on it. Make sure that's alright. Which doesn't look cracked or messed up at all. So, take that and you clean this area off a little bit. And you throw it back in. then you tighten her down. Not too tight, you don't want to strip it. To about there, you know, hand tight, not too tight. About 20 foot-pounds maybe, a little bit less, somewhere in there. And we'll meet you guys back up at the top. Fill it with oil. Stay tuned. So, now that we're back up here, you got to get yourself a funnel because you don't want to spill too much oil. You can do the dipstick trick. That takes too long. But, since I like to bag and tag everything, you know, figured it's the best place to put a funnel, inside a bag, so it doesn't leak everywhere. That, and also, good rag inside of it. A clean rag. Make sure it's clean. But, now that we're here, always throw this inside here. Get your oil. And start pouring. And if you guys know what the torque spec is for that drain bolt, let me know. I'm curious.
2 ugga-duggas.
We're not going to put all of this in because I don't know how much it takes, and this is 5 quarts. Probably going to have a little bit extra. But it's always good to be overfull than underfull. Okay. And when y'all are done, it's always good to put your oil that was used back into these. Don't burn it in a fire like we usually do, but yeah, always dispose of it. So, because this is up on ramps, we're going to take this off the ramps just to check the oil after we take the funnel out. Put the clean rag in the funnel, make sure it's clean. Throw it back in the bag, throw the oil cap on, back it off of this, and then probably flip it around and whatnot just to be safe. Not sure exactly, but you can't get a good oil reading on your dipstick if it's up in the air. So, stay tuned for that. So, now that it's off said ramps, we're going to check the oil level with the dipstick right here. So you pull it out, clean it off, because you always want to make sure you have a good measurement. Stick it back in. And looks like it needs a little bit more. Throw her back in. And we'll just throw the rest of this oil in there. There's only like this much left in here anyway. So it probably could use the whole 5 quarts. Also, little joke, some 710 fluid. Get it? L, 10, 7, 10. Some 710 fluid. I always get a kick out of that. Take her off. And now that this is this full, you don't really need a dipstick if you're a pro.
There goes my shop floor.
I didn't miss. And just like that, let's check it again. And just like that, people, right up at the fill line. Perfect. I'd say she's set and ready to go for another 5,000-ish miles. But since you already got the hood open, you might as well check all your fluids since you're in here. That's what I like to do. We're good on that. You can always fill it later and just know what you got in here. That's the best thing to do. That's full.
Nipple.
Yeah, it's full. And we would check the transmission fluid right here, but it hasn't been ran in a minute, so we'll do that once we cycle through all the gears and whatnot. But if you have an automatic or manual, there isn't going to be one of those. So yeah, you can't really do that, but change your fluids, check your fluids. Always the best thing to do. And if you had a clutch, you would check the clutch right here as well. So, but this being an automatic, it doesn't have clutch, obviously. So, I hope y'all liked the video. Give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch y'all with the next video.